Today, we went to see Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
First of all, before we begin, I want to show some cool stuff that we got.
Oh, what's the... Oh,
I'm going to get it real fast.
Cool stuff.
Oh, God,
flashing light. Stop it, you.
Alright, I'm back with cool stuff.
Yay, cool stuff.
Alright, so here's one of the cool things.
Whoa, one of the cool things. Wow.
Yeah, look at that.
Wow, look at that artwork.
That actually is kind of cool.
It actually is really cool. I'm probably going to use this a lot. It's a popcorn bucket with popcorn inside.
He got that one. But I got a better one. So these are the cups we got too.
These are the amazing cups. This is really flimsy.
It really is. But
I think I still have cups actually from episode 2. Or 3. I think it was 3.
They're only 15 years old. Oh, they're like 10 years old, actually.
I used them to scoop dog food.
Oh boy.
My
and
giant
then last
dog.
but not least, I bought these. This is a 32 ounce here. You can show that off to the camera.
32 ounces.
32 ounce cup.
Ooh.
BB-8. They had a BB-8 and they had a whatever the black droid was, whatever his name was. Did they ever say? You know what I mean?
No, he doesn't have a name as far as I'm aware.
It's the other one. It's the other droid.
The other one.
And then this is a popcorn bucket.
Oh, this is terrifying.
It looks really weird and gross.
So does his head screw off? I never really. I don't know.
But he gave me a straw for it, so I guess the straw goes. I guess obviously goes on top.
Yeah, but how do you fill it?
I don't know.
Let's see. What does this say? It says 3 chamber something. Warning: this is not for children to 3 years old due to small parts which may be a choking hazard. Oh, goody. I love my drink beverage containers are choking hazards.
I want to take these out of the plastic so we can see what they actually look like.
Let's do that.
There's a big warning label on the front of it.
Yeah. It's almost like these are dangerous to some
By the
people.
I want to get we went to our local theater, Zeus.
Hey, Zeus! Shout out to Zeus.
Zeus Digital Theaters.
I want to see if this opens. I feel like it does. I'm probably gonna break it.
I'll figure out how this opens. You just go like that. It's
Lefty loosey. Lefty loosey. So, where's the straw for this guy?
Oh, straw's in here.
Is it just a plastic straw or what?
Yeah, it's like a blue straw. You just go.
Beep, beep.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah, now you can drink his fluids.
That's your pretty big cup. It's 32 ounces.
How the hell do you fill it though?
Oh, you just screw the top.
No, it just swivels. It just swivels.
Maybe you just put it in a little hole on top.
Well, through that.
I guess.
The straw hole. I guess.
I have no idea. Well, anyway, these are cool. They also had a Stormtrooper one and they had the black BB-8 one.
What did you think of the movie?
I thought it was good.
I cannot believe that they put Disney in that movie.
Yeah.
His paycheck was way too high. I can't, like, Walt Disney himself is what I'm talking about. The scene where he was in the TIE Fighter saying, you kids today.
Yep.
That scene, that was just too gratuitous for me.
You know he's like over 100 now.
Yeah,
he's still going.
They kept his head in a jar for some reason. That was a disgrace.
He's like the Stan Lee of
He's the Stan Lee of
Marvel.
Disney.
Yeah,
He's Stan Lee of Disney.
If you actually look at every single movie that
he's actually in there.
He's in every single movie, just like how Stan Lee's in every single Marvel movie. He's in every single one, even the animated ones.
I'm just gonna stare at
He was in Cars.
I'm just gonna stare at Kylo Ren and empathize with him.
All jokes aside, it was a good movie.
It was a great movie, I would say. I would say, if anything, it was a bit predictable in the moment, but not in the grand scheme. Like, I couldn't say, like, oh, yeah, this is going to happen, and that's going to happen.
Yeah.
But there were moments where it was like, oh, she's in the room with him, and he's in the room with him, and, like, the second, you know the scene I'm talking about, the throne room.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say exactly what happened yet. I'm going to do the first part spoiler-free.
Okay, yeah, so
first part spoiler-free. So I'm going to say there was a moment where a thing happened, and it was like the second I caught onto it, I was like, oh, this is really cool. But apparently nobody else in the theater caught onto it because I was the only person going, yeah. Everyone was like, oh no, what's going to happen?
I mean, I'm thinking there's probably some people would have figured it
out.
I'm
sure, but it didn't seem like it was that much of a challenge for me.
General audiences don't really...
That said, I'm not a general audience member. I am kind of hyper-obsessed.
I guess.
Of minor film enthusiast and also kind of like major Star Wars enthusiast.
Yeah, he's more of a Star Wars fan.
I am a Star Wars nut, not just a fan.
I just like the movies. I love them all, but
I know the Star Wars. I know the Wikipedia. Kind of. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff on there that's just a lot of bullshit.
But anyway, let's get into the main.
Let's get into the meat of the story.
So story, excellent. I thought it was
good story. The color grading. Good color. No, we're not doing that professional.
No,
okay,
we're not doing
we're not that good.
Okay, so basically what
Good
I
color
made
grading,
the story was good. It was excellent. It was thoroughly engaging all the way through.
It was very tense. It was very heated and tense.
It started out awesome. Like it
was-
started out like in the action. Like here we go.
For anyone wondering, this is essentially what they did with The New Hope. They made The Empire Strike Back again, but this time it was not as formulaic nor as straightforward.
Yeah, they didn't make a
There
giant
were
Death Star.
it hit a lot of the same notes as Empire. However, it did have enough variation where I wouldn't say like with Episode 7, I would go, yeah, that's just they're hitting the beats of New Hope. This is a young person on a sand planet that's been deserted by their parents.
Oh no, who's that?
They see a giant planet destroying space station. They have to rescue someone from it. Whereas like that one mixed it up a little bit. This one mixed it up a lot of it.
Yeah,
it was all for the better.
It's super interesting, and I felt like the movie, the pacing of the movie wasn't terrible.
It did not feel like it was a 2.5 hour movie.
Yeah, it kind of did. I felt like
Bite thine tongue.
Well, I just felt like it just would never end. Like
I didn't want it to end.
I know I didn't want it to end either, but I'm just saying, like I just kept feeling like, oh my gosh, this is keep going
normally when I sit
more.
through like a movie that's more than like 2 hours, I'm like normally around the hour and a half mark. I'm normally like, when's this ending? But this movie, I was like, ooh, what's happening next?
I know.
But like, and another thing I'm normally not crazy about. I'm normally not crazy about like juggling multiple plot lines, which I know is a really common thing to do. I'm not crazy about it because I normally just like to stick to the one plot line of this is the main hero. That's the main hero. Now with Avengers and Star Wars, I tend to just be like, okay, yeah, I like everyone that's in here.
You're right.
But with this Star Wars movie in particular, I wanted to see everything happening at once.
Well, okay. I will say one thing.
What one thing?
That one character that was a thief in that prison that they were on that one planet.
Yeah.
I did not like him.
The one that was a thief on the one planet.
Like when they were like in that planet, and then they got caught by that that alien dude. I don't remember. I don't think he had a name.
I'm lost right now.
They got caught. Remember, like they parked their shuttle on the beach, and he was like, "Oh no, I gotta find the people that put my shuttle on the beach." And then they found him and they put him into prison.
Oh
like,
yeah.
How do we get out of here? And then the guy there's like a guy in the prison.
Yeah.
Right? That guy. Yeah. I don't remember his name.
Him? Why didn't you like him?
He just felt like he was like a really thrown out sidekick, just like to make the story move
convenient
along.
Character. Yeah,
he was just
plot.
like, oh, how do we get out of here? Oh, this guy right here conveniently is in the prison with us.
The guy that can break out like that.
Yeah. And then he doesn't even do anything. He just he gets him out of the prison, and then later on he's like, oh, I'll help you do a thing, like a big plot point in the movie.
Yeah.
And then he does it, and he's like, no, I'm gonna betray you now, and then that's it.
He basically just said, by the way, nice spoilers there.
What?
The guy in the prison also then betrays them.
I mean, it's not really.
It is kind of a spoiler.
It's kind of
people
a spoiler,
think
really.
People think that saying that Han is in the movie is a spoiler.
I guess, but it's not really.
I'm not saying whether he is
or
or
like
isn't.
major spoilers, like blank, you know.
Blankety blank.
Yeah. But not like this one. This is not really. I feel like this is kind of like a side kind of thing.
I find it kind of funny that we're both wearing Star Wars shirts for this.
Mm-hmm.
Yours is 1977, which is when Episode 4 came out. Mine is Darth Vader mixed with Van Gogh. Both of them, neither of which were in the movie.
Yeah.
Darth Vader's not in the movie at all.
But mine celebrates the history of
Yours is the history. Mine is just
40
Walmart.
years, ironically, this year.
Yeah, 40 years.
Yeah.
Yay, wasted time. We might have solved world hunger by now.
Yes.
No, we wouldn't have.
Force.
Using the Force. Also,
just telling the kids.
Also, I will say another thing. This movie, okay, if anyone has not watched the Plinkett reviews of Star Wars, those reviews are very well thought out. They're better than the prequels. Like, if you were to just put the movies with his reviews side by side, just based on which is more entertaining, his reviews are more entertaining than the prequels. And he does it all while explaining the faults with them. So go watch the Plinkett reviews, link or click the card or the link or whatever we can put on screen now. Anyways, the thing with that is I take every bit of criticism that he said very, very seriously because he's very, very right with a lot of it. And a lot of it they implemented here. I don't know if you noticed this, but whether or not it was actually his criticism they were taking to heart or just the general idea of what he had brought up, which was the sword fights felt very, very emotional.
Yes.
Like comparing them to the prequels had very choreographed sword fights.
Wait, was it better than Darth Vader in the very New Hope fighting Obi-Wan Kenobi?
That's still is a better Jedi fight.
Like they're just like
yeah. That fight is better, I would argue, 10 times better than the fight in Episode 3 with Obi-Wan and Anakin.
You're right.
No, the reason I argue that is
it's just
sure for the spectacle of it. Yeah, it's more visually impressive, but think of the budget constraint, like performance to story, like cost to story of what they're selling there. The two old men fighting with sticks is way better than the two 20 to 30-year-olds fighting with sticks for 30 minutes. Yeah. That is how long they fight.
Really?
It's like half an hour. It's really, it feels that long because it's just two people swing that we know neither of them die because one's Darth Vader, one's Old Ben. We know that neither of those people die. The stakes are bare minimum blah. And they're just, it's like, okay, none of the attacks they make are kill moves. Whereas in A New Hope, every swing they're trying to make has a reason to it. And in this, the raw emotion, anger, the passion, it's all there.
Was insane.
It is, which is one of his criticisms. Lightsaber fights should be emotional, not just pretty sword swinging.
Like there was that scene like midway through the movie where like a big twist happens, and then they just like you're like, oh, whoa, what are they gonna do? And then they start fighting like. I guess can we say like what they're fighting?
No, they fight people.
Yeah, they fight these people in a room.
Yeah, just people in a room.
And it's like, oh my, and like
it's really. I don't want to say it's not graphic, but really emotional is a good word for it. It's very
really
tense, very heated, and very, very interesting to watch because it's not overly choreographed. It's just people fighting, which is really, really, really
it's also interesting to think because both of them are kind of like
untrained,
or not really like.
I guess Kylo Ren is kind of trained. Rey is, but neither of them are.
Yeah, that's masters.
That was the thing that was established with Yoda. Again, I'm returning to Blanket here. Was the reason that Yoda was implemented in the original trilogy was Luke was taught, oh, you need to seek out this grand Jedi master, this person who's mastered the Force. And you expect someone, this strong old man, to be wise and smart. Then you meet this small, decrepit green dude who's a little crazy. And that's to teach you, the Force is not physical. The Force is, spiritual. It's mental.
Yeah.
It's in your head. It's in the universe. It's not just raw strength.
I've seen in this one scene where, like, Luke was trying to teach Rey the Force, and, like, he told her to sit on this rock. Remember that? And, like, and he was like... It's like, all right, now reach out, and then like she puts out her hand.
She goes,
and then he's like, it's like this leafy head.
He whips her head to stop it.
He's like, do you feel this? He's like, yeah, and he whips her up. He's like, oh, did you feel that? He's like, oh, I thought you meant literally reach
because
out.
that again, and another thing is the Force was really well handled in this. I like the archaic Force much more than I do midichlorians.
Oh God, no.
So basically, to anyone that has no idea what I'm talking about, midichlorians are the Force count, the count of Force in your blood. But the thing is that was when the Jedi were in power and they knew they could measure the amount of Force influence your body had, which is the stupidest writing I've ever heard.
It's like a different type of blood.
However, they fixed this by going back further in the canon, where it is now not as well understood because Luke is the only Jedi left. I'm pretty sure you can say that. That's not a spoiler. We all know that.
I mean, yeah, the movie is called The Last Jedi for a reason.
But that said, it's now kind of this archaic... It's treated like an old religion that people expect to die.
Yeah.
And with that, people don't really fully understand it. Like, Luke says, what do you think about the Force? And she says, oh, this is what it is. He goes, everything you said is wrong. And he says, this is what the Force is. Like, he asks her to reach out. And she physically reaches out and he smacks her hand down and says, stop it. Actually reach out with your emotion and feel the Force. Feel it with your heart and mind, not your hand.
Yeah, and then she starts describing it and it's just like...
And then she describes the cycle of life. She describes light and dark. And it's a great moment where he has this great... I can't even say without spoiling it. He has this great epiphany with her that terrifies him.
Yep.
And that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
But...
This movie definitely...
it's very hard to talk about without spoiling.
It really is. There's a lot of scenes where they just... it gets you pumped. The whole movie, there's no slowing down. Beginning and the end, the whole movie.
It's really great. Like, I'm very biased towards Star Wars. He's not as much biased.
Right, yeah.
But... We're both agreeing here that it's a very good movie.
It is very
good.
Echo
Chambers.
What else is there to talk about?
There was the twist with the... I don't want to say the twist with the thing.
Let's just talk about main characters. So how did you feel about like Finn and all of them. Like, okay, let's talk about some of Finn.
Okay,
Finn. How did he develop as a character in this movie? Do you think he grew more? Stayed the same?
I feel like Finn learned a lesson, but Finn didn't exactly grow. He just kind of reinforced what he kind of already knew he had to do.
Right. Because like in the first,
so Finn didn't necessarily grow. He just kind of reinforced what he already knew.
Yeah, like in the Force Awakens,
he's struggling with being a deserter and PTSD.
Yeah.
In this one, it's reinforcing that you can't just run away from your problems. You have to face some things head on. Some things, you probably should run away from. Now is not the time to run. Now is the time to fight. He also learns what to fight for.
Right. Like there was that one scene in the very beginning of the film, like where he was trying to escape in an escape pod, and and then someone caught him, and she's like, "What are you doing?" He's like,
"Nothing.
Nothing.
I'm just doing with a backpack and an escape pod."
And then he gets stunned, and then then they find out all this other stuff.
Yeah,
and they realize what they actually have to do. Escape properly.
What do you think Poe Dameron learned? Or grew as? Do you think he grew or learned or reinforced?
I feel like
or stayed the same.
He realized that you can't be this trigger happy pilot all the time. You gotta make sure you're making the right decisions when they're needed. You don't have to always go in guns a blazing.
I think I've got a better way to word that. This was his arc of becoming a leader. Not just a hero.
Okay, yeah, that's the one.
That was something that was laid out at the very beginning. Was he did something? He was like, "Oh, I can be super," and they laid out the very foundation of you can't just keep being a gunslinging hero. You need to be a leader.
Yeah,
that's what this galaxy needs. And to give you an example, that's what Leia did. Leia and Han and Luke, they went from heroes to leaders. And being a leader is so much more important than just being a gunslinging hero.
Right.
Because being a hero, sure, you save the day, but being a leader, you can save the galaxy.
Yeah. Because at the very beginning, and like I said, I'm really picky about these scenes, but they're so good. They're so good to describe. But there's that very beginning scene where he's like pull back, don't destroy the gun station. He's like, no, I have to. If we destroy this, dreadnought, it'll be a lot easier for us to win. And then Leia's like, don't do that, and he just cuts her off, and he does it anyway.
Yeah, he just does the hero thing, and she's like, you just cost us most of the fleet.
Right, and
you jackass.
We pretty much lost almost the entire fleet.
This is a really dire strait for the as much as I want to say this is the Empire Strikes Back, the stakes are much higher. And it gets much worse for the rebels. This is the First Order striking back, and the First Order is just the Empire, but stronger and meaner. There are some tense moments
where you're just like, how are they even surviving?
At one point, I was trying to keep count of the rebels. I feel like they ran out of troops.
They just were. I thought they were just going to give up. They were just.
I would have.
Oh my god, it was.
It was really hard to watch at some point.
It's very intense. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What other character? What do you think about maybe
Rey?
Rey.
Rey had a lot to learn from this. This was a big lesson for her in understanding what the Force was, especially understanding her part in the galaxy, understanding what happened in her past, and coming to terms with it. I'm not sure she did. I was actually really halfway. I was expecting her to turn to the dark side.
Yeah, because they did.
I'm not saying whether or not she did. I'm saying it. It really felt like it could have gone either way.
They were alluding to that a lot, dude. When she was training with Luke. It seemed like she
could easily do it. It was like a switch to be flipped.
It was, and then she wasn't, and I don't know. It was just a big old thing, and it was a good arc.
It was very good.
I feel like, the reason why she was conflicting with it because she didn't know who her parents were, and the whole thing was she wanted to know who her parents were and who they were.
Because they want to annoy the shit out of people like me.
For some reason. I don't know why she could focus on that.
Who do you think her parents are going to be? I bet it's Chewbacca. Chewbacca's her father. Nope. Her mother.
Chewbacca
is her mother. Because we don't know.
It's going to be Chewbacca and that little penguin thing.
No, it's going to be Chewbacca and the little mouse droids.
The mouse droids, yeah, there you go. That'll be it.
There's your thumbnail. Chewbacca and a mouse droid in a heart. Let's see, who else is that? Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren.
I love this villain because, he's such a well-conflicted villain. And, I was really expecting him to be able to turn back to good. No. He's doubling down. And, he's such a new type of Sith Lord we've not seen before. One who's really, really emotional.
He is.
And not angry. Sad emotional. And it sounds really not as good when I say it that way.
Some of his dialogue is I can see like some dialogue is like really like supposed to be serious, but then like it just comes out as funny, you know. Like there was that like toward the end of the movie, like he was like I'm not gonna say what it is, but he was fighting someone and he's like why or something. I don't know what the line was, but he said like a line and it was like really funny, but it wasn't meant to be funny.
Yeah.
Like just stuff like that. I don't know what it is about his character. It just makes me like
laugh.
Yeah, laugh.
Cause, like, I feel like he's kind of a comic relief in his own way.
Yeah,
he's a good type of comic relief though.
Right.
He's not a bad kind. Like some. Just put up a picture of Jar Jar. That he's not that.
He's not an
Fuck that. I hate that piece of shit. Why did you ever touch the glory that is Star Wars?
Yeah, he tarnished his reputation.
He did more than tarnish it. He wiped his ass with it. Misa Kachacha Binks. Misa ruined your franchise.
Sure did. I'll never forget it.
Luke.
Okay,
how about Luke?
Yeah, let's go Luke.
Let's go Luke.
I'll go with someone else, but yeah, we'll go with Luke.
Okay, Luke. How did Luke learn or not learn?
I feel like his main thing was that his whole thing was that he basically was trying to train a new set of Jedis, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
the plural of Jedi is Jedi.
Yeah. And he set up this like little temple and everything, right? And then I'm not gonna say who, but someone destroyed that temple.
Maybe it was Kylo Ren.
Ooh, maybe.
Ooh, no.
I'm not. And basically, the whole thing was the reason why he didn't want to teach Rey is because he thought since he failed that one person, he thought he couldn't teach Rey because he felt like it would be the same situation.
Yeah.
And he was afraid that she would,
I think my favorite thing was how Luke could not accept that failure is a teacher and that failure is something that's important
he
to learning.
He had to always be a success.
He thought that he had to be the savior of the galaxy. He thought that he had to always be right. But he gets visited by someone who says to him that failure is very important. Failure is the best teacher you can have. And as someone who has learned a lot of things, yeah, failure is important, and you're going to do it.
Yeah, because, that's the only way you're going to move forward. You can't really...
You can't be perfect all the time.
You can't be successful unless you experience failure, That's the way you got to be strong, move forward, and live your life.
Live and learn.
Yeah. And, literally at the beginning, when you first meet him, it's like, he was like, no, I came into this island to die, He came into this island
He came into the island with the mentality that with him, the Jedi will die, and he will die. And that was the end of it. There was nothing.
He was just like, no, I'm not training you.
He was a crazy old hermit.
Leave me alone. I think the last character we should talk about, and probably the most disappointing, I would say, Snoke.
Yep, that's what I thought you were going to... As soon as you said disappointing. Yeah, he kind of was.
They built him up
They built him up so hard, and then disappointment.
And then he literally was in, 3 scenes, maybe?
Maybe 4?
Yeah, maybe. And then that's it.
What else do we have left to say? I think that covers most of it. Had a really good intro, middle, end.
I think so.
Let's see.
The conclusion was really good. It's really set up the next movie, I feel like.
Yeah, definitely. It didn't feel like a poorly made cliffhanger like some games do. Oh, right, Battlefront 2.
Yeah, and also Force Awakens, where literally it ends with her...
With just hair shoving the lightsaber in his face. That was a poor cliffhanger, I gotta say. I was not crazy about that.
It was exciting, but it was...
It was exciting, sure, but to wait a year for it, ugh.
Yeah, actually 2 years.
Oh yeah, 2 years.
It came out in 2015.
Because Rogue One.
Yeah, Rogue One came out last year. That was like...
Fuck you, Rogue One. You're not a good movie.
Yeah.
You're okay, and with Star Wars, we don't want just okay.
So we just give a rating and go straight into spoilers again?
I don't know. I don't have much else to spoil. Do you have much else to spoil? I'll let you take the floor with spoilers.
I can do a little bit more spoilers. I got it to you.
All right, you go ahead and do it. Well, let's do our ratings, and then we'll go back into spoilers so you guys can get our opinions of it.
All right, cool.
And these are first impression ratings. We've not had time to sit down scene by scene and really analyze the meat of it.
Right.
But you go ahead and you go.
I want to give this one a high 9.
High 9.
It's almost perfect, but it's not quite there. Just because of the disappointing... that one disappointing...
Oh, yeah, the spoiler thing that we talked about.
Spoiler thing, yeah. And that's mainly it. Just that disappointing ending, or just, the middle part, and then, a few other little things here and there. But I thought it was solid all the way through. It was great. Go see it.
I'm going to say, I agree with you, but not on the points that you made. I'm going to say also high 9. It's a really, really good, entertaining movie all the way throughout. However... Like I said before in the beginning, it's very moment to moment predictable. Like, nothing really... Like, in the moment, nothing really took me by surprise. I was never like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they did this, because they kind of set it up, and it makes sense. Which, I mean, it's its own positive that things make sense in the moment, but at the same time, it's a bit too easy to kind of discern what they're going to do. Although I might just be a bit too invested in the series as a whole, and I can kind of just be like, oh, of course they're going to do that. That's what Star Wars would do.
Right.
And it's a bit too predictable for someone like me, although I can totally see for a general audience to be a great movie to watch.
For sure, yes.
All right,
it is definitely a movie that will definitely make tons of money.
So, the average is...
9.
That was easy. High 9.
7.5. What?
7.5 from IGN. Actually, I wonder what IGN did give it.
Too much water.
Okay, too much snow.
Too much snow.
IGN.
Too much sand. Red sand. Ooh, 9.7.
Oh yeah.
Right there.
So yeah, high 9. There you go.
Yeah.
From IGN.
Wow.
Too much water.
Too much water.
No.
In this case, too much sand. Red sand. Remember that sand? The planet was sand. They're like red sand.
All right. So go ahead and you take it away with your spoilers.
All right. So now we're going to go to spoiler territory.
He's gonna go to spoiler. I'm just gonna fade away.
If anything, thank you guys for watching this video. And make
spoiler.
sure you check back for other new reviews if we ever do any future. But yeah. So bye bye everyone for now.
Bye.
Bye.
He's not important. Look at me.